Welcome to the True Rotarian Podcast. This podcast is specially designed for all the true Rotarians by a true Rotarian. A devoted father whose child is living with thalassemia. He'll be sharing his journey, the challenges and the hope and the strength to navigate this condition as a parent.
And 26, when my first daughter was born in 1986, and a year later, which was 87, she was detected with the thalassemia major. Then the journey which the doctor told us was very horrifying, because he said the child will not be able to survive more than 7 to 8 years. We were in Ahmedabad. It was a big shock for a young couple. At night she will take the injection, and in the morning, if the injection is over, she will remove the injection and go to school immediately. Otherwise, she will carry the injection and pump everything tucked to her body in her skirt, and then she will go to school.
Welcome to the True Rotarian Podcast. I'm your host, AKS Rotarian Hemant Basin, and today we are going to dive into a topic that affects thousands of families across India and the world: thalassemia. It is more than just a medical condition, it is a lifelong journey of resilience, care, and awareness. Joining me today are two very incredible Rotarians and human beings and dear friends. I would like to introduce with ladies first. Welcome to the show. And Dr. Priya Oberoi is a dental surgeon, and she's an active Rotarian in District 3011, working as actively as in Thalassemia Awareness Prevention Program. She's a co-chair for thalassemia. She's also a district chair for dental hygiene and awareness, and a zonal chair for burn and skin bank. Priya ji, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Hemant ji.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome a very dear friend and a very seasoned Rotarian past president Jitendra Nanda, a devoted father whose child is living with thalassemia. He'll be sharing his journey, the challenges and the hope and the strength to navigate this condition as a parent. Thank you, sir. Thank you for coming to True Rotarian Podcast. Dr. Priya, let's start with you. For our listeners who may not be familiar with this thalassemia, what exactly is thalassemia and how does it affect the body?
Thalassemia, Hemant ji, is a genetic blood disorder in which our body is not able to form, it forms less hemoglobin. And we all know that how important is hemoglobin, as it helps in carrying oxygen in our blood. And once, due to less hemoglobin, usually the child or the individual faces the kind of symptoms similar to anemia, like paleness, fatigue, delayed growth, and particularly in thalassemia, we find bone deformities also, enlarged spleen. Basically, there are two types of thalassemias, mainly like thalassemia minor and thalassemia major. So minor, usually the symptoms are not much. The person can live a normal life also. But major is usually diagnosed within 1 to 2 years of life, in which the individual requires blood transfusions, regular blood transfusions, weekly or maybe monthly. So that is very much traumatizing for the parent and the individual and the child as such.
Is it preventable or treatable? Or what is the sort of medical landscape of this disease right now?
It is definitely preventable. As now what various NGOs and particularly Rotary is into, to make it, Rotary is trying to prevent thalassemia by conducting various awareness programs, by organizing various thalassemia screening camps, contacting various schools, colleges to conduct various talks among the Rotarians, motivating them to come forward with this topic and take ahead this torch through various Rotary clubs, by conducting various seminars. This year, like last year also, our DG, Dr. Mahesh Pitrika, and this year's DG, Dr. Ravi Gugnani ji, they both are very keen, and our upcoming DG, so he's also very keen. In fact, it was with his contribution only last year that our club, Rotary Club of Delhi Safdarjung, who was being given the flagship project, this thalassemia as a flagship project through our DG Mahesh Pitrika ji. So he was, with his help and contribution, we could perform over 2,000 plus screenings with the help of Rotarian Ajit Jalan ji.
As I understand, what you are saying is you create awareness.
Yes.
You go to schools.
Yes.
You go to colleges. And you tell people how to prevent this particular disease. Now, what is discussed in these awareness programs?
Yeah. So what we discuss is we motivate people, the students, to come ahead and get themselves screened for thalassemia. It is a simple blood test, and a simple prick, a simple blood test in which the individual gets to know, just in case if he or she has the thalassemia, it happens to be a minor.
Okay.
In which we tell them that now if you are being diagnosed, you have been known as a thalassemia minor, while marriage, you are not supposed to, you are supposed to get your partner's blood test done, because if he or she happens to be, if she or she also happens to be a minor, then there is 25% chances of the child to be born with the thalassemia major. And that is a deadly blood disorder, as I mentioned before, that in that case, then the child has to undergo regular blood transfusions, which becomes very much traumatic to the parent every time, taking the child to the hospital and seeing them to being getting pricked every time. And not only this, after the blood transfusion, the story doesn't end here. The child has to undertake so many medications. That is the iron chelation therapy. That is also not easy to bear with.
Okay.
So that is the it's a vicious cycle. That
means what you're creating an awareness, telling people to please get tested, and if you are a major or a minor, then accordingly the next line of treatment or line of precautions start.
Yeah, basically major is to diagnosed within first 2 years only. The person, individual doesn't know if he's a carrier. Basically minors are known as, or also termed as carriers. Because even at the college level, there is possibility that the individual is not knowing that he's a carrier. That ways we are promoting at the college levels, at the youngsters level, at the premarital levels, and even during the early pregnancy stages, to please get yourself screened for thalassemia before you're getting married, or before even if you have conceived, and during the early stage you should get the thalassemia testing done, just in case if we find it is found that the child that is being who is being going to born, if he happens to be a major, then it can be aborted.
Wow. Well, ladies and gentlemen, can you imagine the excellent work being done by Rotary and various Rotarians at various stages, creating awareness and also just suggesting the sort of patients as to what the next line of activity has to be. Let's turn to Jitendra ji. And thank you so much for agreeing to share your story. When did you first come to know that your child is suffering from thalassemia?
Friends, I got married at the age of 25 and 26 when my first daughter was born in 1986. And a year later, which was 87, she was detected with the thalassemia major. I, being the youngest of 4 brothers and 2 sisters in my family, no one had this problem, but my first child was born with the thalassemia major. And then the journey which the doctor told us was very horrifying, because he said the child will not be able to survive more than 7 to 8 years. We were in Ahmedabad. It was a big shock for a young couple, and who were just married and were planning for the family.
Must have been very traumatic for the family.
Yes, certainly. I being the Rotractor from my early ages, I've been donating blood, and I started thinking, when I'm doing so much social work, and why this happened with me.
You were a Rotractor in 1980, right?
Yes.
Then you were a ZRR, and then you were a DRR.
Yes.
What a fantastic combination of having a journey from starting from Rotractor to a president of a very, very renowned club, Rotary Club of Delhi, Rajdhani.
Yeah. So then what happened was we started taking care of our child, with the blood transfusions. And then 1988-89, we thought, let's have another child, because we started listening about the story of bone marrow transplantation as the only treatment for such children. So 88, we went for the next pregnancy. Unfortunately, that was not in our favor. We had to terminate the pregnancy. That time, the test never used to happen in India. Samples used to go to London.
Oh, okay.
There was no facility available in India. 1992, my son was born after the prenatal tests were done in Bombay. And then our journey started to survive the child again with the bone marrow transplantation, because we had a sibling then in our hand. 1990, and doctor said 3 years you can't do the HLA test for bone marrow transplantation. 1995, when we did the bone marrow transplantation, although the bone marrow transplantation was not in my budget at all, absolutely, because I was a young professional at that time. That again didn't go in our favor because HLA didn't match. So we as warriors, we have to survive our child. So we went for the next pregnancy in 1995 again. And 1996 when she conceived, and then unfortunately that also didn't go in our favor. Then we decided, because my wife was aging, the daughter was aging, so we thought, let's stop this the test and trials and start taking care of our children. So then 1998 we moved out from Bombay to Delhi. 1998, now it is 2025. My daughter still, she is giving us the happiness.
Wow.
And the journey which we had gone through was, because the child who was born with thalassemia, she was a student in DPS Arkepuram. And then the age, where you tend to have the boyfriends and all these kind of feelings in any girl. So then the marriage was a big challenge for us. But 2015, we could find a hero who could hold her hand, and a normal boy, Karan Sahni, and they got married in 2015.
Excellent.
Now I'm happy that Asta, who's my daughter, she gave a birth to a healthy baby boy in 2020.
Oh, that's so good. That means you are a grandfather.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. And the journey which we have gone through is, it looks a very simple story that we have gone through this time. I'll just share one incident with you. I was on a trip to Chennai in 1995-96. It was Sunday morning when my wife called her from Bombay. She said, she didn't say anything. There was a call from my wife. I also didn't speak anything. What happened was, after 2 minutes, I said, you just put the foot down, I'm coming back. Because we read a news in the in the newspaper that the children who were taking blood transfusion at Red Cross in Bombay, 9 out of 14, they were detected with HIV positive.
Oh my God.
So I had to rush back to Bombay, and fortunately for us, my daughter was not amongst one of them. So there are certain such stories are there in a life which we have gone through. So today she is 39. She is an independent entrepreneur. She runs her own business. And sweet boy, the child are our grandchild. He goes to school.
Fantastic.
So it's a normal family now.
Fabulous. Absolutely. What an incredible story. What was her day-to-day life like when she was a student? Now she realized that he has got a problem. Was there a support from a peer group and things like that, or from schools?
Yeah. We never actually hide from the school teachers or the principal and everybody. There was a great contribution, the great help from the teachers. And anytime she would fell ill after the reaction from the blood transfusions, she was comfortably been given the leave, and even the students were helping her during the school time.
That's so nice.
And as Priyaji mentioned, that you need to have the iron chelation medicines.
Yes.
So she used to take the pumps for Desferal with Desferal, and that pump, once you put the injection in the body, it remains in the body for almost 9 hours.
Wow.
She used to come back from school at night, midnight. At night she will take the injection, and the morning, if the injection is over, she will remove the injection and go to school immediately. Otherwise, she will carry the injection and pump, everything tucked to her body in her skirt, and then she will go to school. And sometime, everything with the same process, she was appearing for the exams.
Wow.
So that's what all has been part of the
The
subject.
child was a warrior.
Yeah, certainly.
And with a total distinct to win this battle.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
I'm very happy to share with you also that she is the first thalassemic major child who has given birth to a normal baby boy in the entire northern region.
Wow.
She's the second in the country, and
Fabulous.
very brave on her part, because we were not encouraging her for the child, but she took up the challenge and moved ahead.
Very good. Excellent. Now, coming back to emotional and financial challenges, you mentioned that those 2 minutes of unspoken words after reading a newspaper drove you to take a flight and come back to Bombay. That must have been very traumatic for you and for your family. What about the financial challenges?
Yeah, see, right from the day one, actually, the biggest challenge for any thalassemic parent is the financial challenge. Apart from the pain and sufferings that the child goes through, and the emotional trauma the entire family goes through, is the financial challenge. The other day I was talking to someone, and we did a small calculation. If I'm spending about 10 to 12,000 rupees every month on the maintenance of the child in last 39 years, probably if I have saved that money for her, she would have been richer by 15 to 16 crore rupees.
Yes.
So this is the quantum of amount which we have so far spent on the treatment of the child. So this is the financial burden which normally families cannot afford, and they raise their hands and they let the child go.
So unfortunate. Now, coming back to the support group and also the Rotary initiative and the medical care, can we just talk about that? Because Rotary is doing a lot of work, and there are some support groups, I'm sure, initiated by the government or some NGOs who are doing, helping children with this kind of an issue.
Yeah, there is. See, apart from the what the child needs is, there are certain centers which are thalassemic daycare centers, we call it as. Delhi has got one in municipality hospital, one in Sir Gangaram hospital. But we through Rotary in 1989-19, when I was a secretary of my club, I initiated to start a daycare center at Rotary Blood Bank, and it was a global ground project. We collected the money, everything was done, and unfortunately, because of some compliances issue on the part of the building, we could not take that project through. But in the meantime, we got a great support from Faridabad Rotary Club, and they opened a Thalassemia Daycare Center at Rotary Blood Bank at Faridabad. With the initiative of AKS Satish Kusai ji.
Yes.
I'm really great and thankful to him. And that center is doing very well. So whenever there is any problem with respect to the blood non-availability and all these kind of things, Deepak Prasad ji is another, I would like to mention, the Rotarian, dedicated Rotarian on thalassemia.
Yes.
So they have been a great help. And now going forward, I have discussed this matter with our District Governor Ravi Gugnani ji, and also with the District Governor from District 3012, Amita ji. Amita ji. So both have agreed to support to start a Thalassemia Daycare Center.
I believe there is a seminar which is coming up recently now. I think end of the month and things like that.
Yes.
Initially, I thought, we are going to launch, we will try and launch this particular podcast on that day, but technically it may not be possible because the edit team takes a little more time.
Yeah, 30th September we are doing a
maybe we'll
seminar,
launch it a little later. Definitely. Great. Priyaji, coming to you now. How can people get tested for thalassemia traits?
For the testing, there are mainly 2 blood tests. First of all, the CBC. The normal the blood test, and then there is hemoglobin electrophoresis test. These are the 2 main tests. Once the hemoglobin is found to be less than normal in the individual, then that sample is being taken to the HPLC machine, which is the particular gold standard for the thalassemia test.
Okay. You mentioned a little earlier that there are some tests before marriage and also before the childbirth.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
That is the HPLC test.
Same test itself. Yeah. Is the screening or a test painful or costly?
No, it is just a simple prick. It is just a simple prick, and it is not much costly. And these days now, as I mentioned, the Rotary and various other NGOs are coming forward for the free testing, for the free screening.
Oh, the free testing is being done, is it?
Yeah, they're coming forward to call people to get them tested. Like
Excellent.
Rotary Club of Delhi Safdarjung, it has adopted the whole Metri College, the 3,000 girls of Metri College, to get them tested free of cost.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. What are the treatments for this issue, and what are the challenges that you as a medical fraternity face?
Treatment is like, as I mentioned, it is the blood transfusions only and the iron chelation therapy.
Okay.
And challenges are like the same. The basic challenge is the financial challenge.
Financial challenges, because there are people who are fortunate to have spent that kind of money, which Jitendraji did. Yeah. God was kind to him, and I'm sure there must be a lot of unfortunate parents who probably can't afford that kind of a cost. Does government or there are any NGOs who support this cause?
There are steps taken by the government, and we as Rotarians are also making appeal to the government to please in spreading awareness for thalassemia, and we want the policymakers and the government also to make this test, as I mentioned, the premarital test and the early pregnancy test, the thalassemia test, as a mandatory, to formalize some kind of a law in which the premarital thalassemia test and the early pregnancy test, the thalassemia screening test, should become mandatory.
It's a must, yeah.
Must. Secondly, at the school level or at the college levels, like in the schools, there are regular health checkups. So what government can do, and we are requesting them to make the thalassemia screening as a compulsory part of those routine regular health checkups that is being performed on a regular basis in the schools.
Wow.
So that is the biggest appeal we want.
That's wonderful. That means, can we hope for a thalassemia-free future in the time to come?
Definitely, through the kind of efforts Rotary District 3011 with 3012 is doing, we can see India as a nation free from thalassemia. Like Rotary has eliminated polio. So now next
Yes.
elimination is like, next attempt is like for the elimination of thalassemia.
By
the
2035.
yeah.
Am I right?
By 2035.
I think I was reading it somewhere.
Yeah. It is our slogan now to end thalassemia by 2035.
That's so wonderful.
Along with Dr. Rahul Bhargav, who has initiated this slogan. He has a very renowned hematologist in Fortis Gurgaon.
Wow.
So he with our Rotarians are now like very much keen to spread this awareness
And
now.
the parents, the warriors.
Yeah.
I'll add to the point that when we started this year on 1st July, we did our first seminar on 1st July itself, and we called all the presidents of Rotary Club of District 3011 and District 3012 to make them aware that what thalassemia is. That was our first seminar, and our target audience is from age 18 to 35.
Okay.
So wherein we are trying to create the awareness amongst all those target audiences, whether through the clubs or the schools or the colleges or the workplaces, the corporates. And then screening is another chapter. Wherever there's agreement that we should do the screening, and Rotary Club Sadhurjung is taking initiative for the screening.
Wow.
And the last is the subject which we are again working on is the daycare center for thalassemia children in Delhi itself.
Wow.
So that is where that's overall strategy we have. See, government policies are a little longer subject, which we have, since we've taken this initiative now as a Rotary, we will definitely be pushing it in the coming years. Then maybe next year, maybe another a year down the line, we will definitely make this as a compulsive law that the thalassemic test should be done for every pregnant lady in the first 3 to 4 weeks of the pregnancy.
I promise you on behalf of True Rotarian Podcast that anytime you have a story to tell or something more to share or any innovations which might come into early detection or early treatment, believe you me, it will be my pleasure and honor to have another program on thalassemia.
Definitely.
Can I request you, sir, to please tell our audience a little bit about as to how they should be careful, what care should be taken, your message to the audience and to all the Rotarians.
Yeah, friends, I personally feel that, not only as a parent of a thalassemic child, but also as a chairperson for Thalassemia Eradication Program for our district, talk in your families that thalassemia is a blood disorder, because you never know, one day you will hit the wall. Like we hit the wall at an early stage of our marriage. Get yourself screened for thalassemia. The children who are of marriageable age, they should get screened. Wherever if there is any person who is working somewhere, talk in your workplaces that thalassemia should be detected at an early stage so that, there is absolute eradication in the times to come. I know it's a big challenge, but this is going to happen.
Wow. Priyaji, would you like to tell the audience and also our fellow Rotarians something about what we have discussed today?
Yeah. I would like to appeal everyone to please come and join us in taking this muhim ahead to spread the word of thalassemia. As I had mentioned, that premarital thalassemia test is very important before any individual is gonna get married. जैसे कहते हैं ना कि आप जन्म कुंडली मिलाते हैं, आप जन्म कुंडली ना मिलाएं, आप रक्त कुंडली ज़रूर मिलाएं. रक्त कुंडली मिलाना बहुत ज़रूरी है, क्योंकि आगे आने वाले टाइम में जब हम फैमिली प्लानिंग की तरफ अग्रसर होते हैं, उस समय अगर हमारा बच्चा थैलेसीमिया मेजर से पैदा होता है, दैट इज़ वेरी मच ट्रॉमेटाइजिंग फॉर द फैमिली. सो टू अवॉइड the financial burden on the family, the emotional trauma to the family, we should be, जैसे कहते हैं ना, good planning is half done. So शादी से पहले ही आप एक अच्छी प्लानिंग के साथ करिए. उसमें ये थैलेसीमिया स्क्रीनिंग इज़ one of the very important aspects before you're gonna get married. And just in case of love marriages, please do go ahead, but at the time of early pregnancy, get yourself tested for thalassemia. In case, unfortunately, if the child is found to be born with major, get it aborted, try for the next time. The Rotary wants to see India with thalassemia only to be found in the history books and not in the hospital wards. So just try and end thalassemia by 2035. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ji. Yes, sir.
Hema ji, हमने last year, if I have to share the statistics with you, last year we did 2000 screening because Mahesh ji के time पे we took this subject forward. And this year we have taken the objective to do the thalassemia screening for 10,000 children, which is fivefold. And probably a year ahead we are planning something about 25,000 screenings.
Wow.
So we have so far done close to about 3,500 in first 2 months itself.
Wow.
So that is the enthusiasm we are finding. There's a lot of support from the colleges, a lot of support from the corporates. We are thankful to everyone for giving us the time for screening and listening us in the every campaign we have done it.
Wow. Now, this particular thing that you're talking about, screening here in 3011, are we doing a similar work in the rest of the country also?
Yeah. I had a discussion with the RA director, Mr. Nagesh. He also has initiated in certain districts to take this topic forward. Once we are stabilized in our district 3011 and 12, which is Delhi NCR, we are going to motivate the districts which are not moving ahead or activate the districts which are already working towards the eradication in their own areas. And I'm sure in the coming 2-3 years' time, we might have this as a national project.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. After today's very sort of important topic, one thing is clear, that thalassemia is not just a medical condition. It is a call to action for the society, for the communities, and also as we as individuals. Whether it is blood donating, getting screened, or simply spreading awareness, every step matters. Thank you so much. Thank you, Priya ji.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jitendra ji.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, and Jai Hind.